Make good grades, respect your elders, be aware of your surroundings, and don't do drugs. These are the lessons that we instill into our kids over and over again. But money, silence. Nobody really talks to us about money, how to manage it, or how to grow it. I was one of those kids who grew up in that silence. Now, don't get me wrong, my parents were amazing. They taught me two things about money: don't mess up your credit and save money. Helpful, yes, but it still left a huge gap in things I needed to know about money. So, as you can probably imagine, I grew up to make some pretty bad financial decisions, decisions that would hurt my pockets and access later. Have any of you done the same? Maybe it was getting your first credit card, like me, co signing for someone you love, or saying yes at the car dealership to a deal that sounded good in the moment. I've been there. I was 18 years old. I just went off to college and I was shopping at the mall. And the guy at the register said, "Hey, you can get a discount today and you don't have to pay right now." So I didn't know what that meant. All I heard was discount and I don't have to pay right now. So I applied, got approved on the spot. And that day, I walked out with more than just a few blazers and a pair of shoes. I walked out with debt I wasn't ready for and a credit card I had no idea how to manage. See, nobody talked to me about credit utilization or interest rates or how this will follow me for years. So within a few months, I had already damaged my credit. I didn't even know what I had done wrong. It wasn't until years later when I began my career in the banking industry that I learned how money really works. And that's when it hit me. I need the blueprint. I need the instruction manual. I need to know the rules of this game in order to be successful in it. You know, it was hard trying to figure it out on my own. Right here in my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, a recent Wallet Hub analysis reported that the average credit score in Birmingham is 593. 593. That's way below the score you need for affordable interest rates in your personal and business life. Now, think about what that does to a person's confidence. Think about the options that they have or don't have just because of that number. Across Alabama, it's tough too. A recent study done by FINRA reported that 60% of Alabamians find it difficult to cover everyday expenses and bills. 54% don't have emergency savings, and 7% don't even have checking accounts. One unexpected bill, one strange noise in your car, one medical emergency, and everything falls apart. Unfortunately, most people that you encounter on a daily basis are faced with these same issues. No matter how much money they make, what they drive, or where they live. Now, some of these challenges are obvious, you can tell, but most you'll never know. And no, this isn't a black issue. This isn't a minority issue. Yes, those communities face some of the steepest hurdles, but this is a people issue. See, the problem is when you don't have the instructions, when you don't have the information, you're left assuming. And you know what happens when you assume? Think about trying to build something without the instruction manual. Think back to the last time you asked a man to put together something that you ordered on Amazon and he threw away the instructions. Pretty difficult task, huh? So what do? We hustle, maybe get a second job or start a business, but without the information, without understanding credit, how to save, budgeting, or planning, you're stuck making the same mistakes and falling in the same cycle. That's the danger of not having a blueprint. Any Jay Z fans? A few? Okay, cool. So for the rest of you, you'll learn something. Jay Z isn't just a rapper, he's not just Beyonce's husband, he's a business mogul. He went from the streets to a $1 billion empire by the age of 50. See, all along, Jay Z has been giving out financial literacy and business education through his lyrics. One of my favorite lines is from the story of OJ, where he says, "Financial freedom, my only hope. Forget living rich and dying broke. I bought some artwork for 1 million. 2 years later, that piece worth 2 million. A few years later, that piece worth 8 million. I can't wait to give this to my children." Translation: it's not about just having money while you're here. It's about having assets to pass on. It's about having life insurance to cover you, investing into things that grow in value to build wealth, leaving an inheritance for your children. That's more than just a bar. That's strategy. See, most people, they hear the lyrics and they nod and they sing along and they still fall back into the same money traps, doing the same things. Why? Because there's no reinforcement from the communities around them to keep that conversation going. They say knowledge is power, right? Well, an uninformed community is an unempowered community. And it shows up in small and big ways. Businesses that never get off the ground or crumble because of mistakes that could have been avoided. People working hard day in and day out, trying to raise their credit scores, but still not able to get it to a place where they can get access to the things that they need. Or generations passing down struggle like heirlooms, not because they want to, but because they don't know any better. Nobody ever taught them anything differently. Now, what if we flip the script? Imagine Birmingham, a city with a legacy of civil rights, resilience, and reinvention, becoming a national model of what it looks like when you integrate financial literacy and business education and how it can transform an entire city. That's my vision. And it's possible. The Financial Freedom Project, founded by IMC Financial Consulting, is one of the most forward thinking efforts I've ever seen. They're teaching the real stuff. They're teaching credit, savings, budgeting, how to build a business, how to invest, not just to the students in Birmingham City Schools, but to the teachers and the parents, because it takes all of us. The results are amazing. Two Birmingham City School students are certified financial education instructors before they graduated high school, credentials that I didn't get until I was an adult professional, an increase in 44% school scores from elementary to high school, and over $1 million in student loan debt erased because of financial literacy workshops and sessions. This isn't just a program. This is real impact. This is a blueprint. This is serving as a model for cities across the country. Now, I know you may be wondering, wow, AJ, that program sounds amazing. But what can I do? Well, I'm glad you asked. You could begin normalizing financial conversations everywhere at your dinner tables, church, barbershops, hair salon, when you're with your friends, on your social media, pushing for financial literacy in all schools, and challenging leaders who call it non essential and remind them how poverty can drive crime and how investing into financial education now could be a crime deterrent in the future. You could create funding models in your banks, credit unions, nonprofits to give everyday entrepreneurs the access to capital that they need. Or you could just simply celebrate someone that you see is trying, saying, good job, keep up the good work, or offering your support. It goes a long way. Here's what I believe: a blueprint isn't a document, it's not a diagram, it's a decision. It's a decision to be intentional with talking about money, teaching what you know, sharing your resources, having conversations with people that you wish somebody had with you. The next generation doesn't deserve to struggle. They shouldn't be left assuming what to do and making the same financial mistakes that we made. That's the blueprint we never got. But that's the blueprint that we can build right now together. Thank you.
Awesome.